Everyone around us is always saying that we should buy real estate, and we all thought that when we grow up, we can easily afford a few apartments. You can rent out some apartments, receive a good rent, and live on that money. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But the reality is quite different. Real estate prices are always rising, and not every person with an average salary can afford an apartment for $100,000 or $200,000. In Europe, prices for 1 square meter start from a few $1,000s. Even a small studio apartment of 40 or 50 square meters will cost a lot of money. So, what to do then? Many people decide to take a mortgage. But even to make a mortgage, you need to pay at least 20% of the cost of the apartment. You also need a huge number of documents. For most people, this is not an option at all. Well, what should we do? Is it possible to start investing in property if you only have $100? In this video, we will talk about the best option for investing in real estate without a lot of capital. We are going to talk to you about what is REIT, ETF, and crowdfunding. Now, these words and abbreviations may seem pretty complicated to you, but trust me, by the end of this video, you will be able to figure it all out. Let's start with REITs. Buying real estate the traditional way needs a large initial investment, bringing a little return on investment, and you still need to keep an eye on an apartment or a house. The return on such investment can take a long time to materialize. As an alternative, you can consider investing in REIT funds. What these funds are and how you can make money on them, I will explain you right away. In simple words, REITs are funds that attract investments and buy real estate for this money. And when the real estate brings in the money, the fund divides the money among the investors. Now, let's get into more detail. REIT funds, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust, are in a business of managing real estate or owning mortgage-backed securities. These funds earn income by building or buying real estate properties for the purpose of renting or selling them. In addition, they may invest in mortgage-backed securities. The profit that a REIT fund generates are distributed to shareholders in the form of dividends. I'll explain a little later what dividends are. REITs allow anyone to become a real estate investor, similar on how people buy shares of companies in other industries. So, how to do REIT funds generate profit? Most of them operate on a clear and easy to understand business model. They rent out real estate properties, generating a stable income in form of rent. This income is then shared with the shareholders in the form of dividends. So, how can you make money from REIT funds? There are two main ways. The first is receive dividends. Dividends are a share of earning that are distributed to a REIT stockholders. These payments can happen monthly, quarterly, or whatever. This makes this method kind of passive income. You purchase REIT shares, and over time, you are automatically credited with profits. The process happens without the need of constant monitoring. You buy and you just get paid. The second way is REIT trading. This is where you buy REITs at a lower price, and after some time, you sell them at a higher price. This method requires a deeper involvement as it's no longer passive. You need to keep track of market changes to make the most of this way of making money. Which method is better? Here, it all depends on your preferences and financial goals. However, I can note that both methods can be used in combination to maximize profits. For example, let's say you bought REIT shares in March at $20. Over time, their prices begin to rise. In May, you received dividends and then sold the same REIT for $40. Thus, you profited both from dividends and the difference in price at the same time. REIT funds themselves can focus on investing in certain types of real estate. There are funds on the market that specialize exclusively on healthcare properties, warehouses, residential properties, and other categories. You can choose the assets you feel are the most reliable and appropriate for investing goals. REITs are a very cool tool because you can use them to protect your capital from inflation. After all, real estate rents usually rise in the line with inflation. Meanwhile, investors are exempted from service costs such as repairs, security, and property management. Why invest in REIT funds? Let's talk about the pros and cons. First, even without having a significant amount of capital, anyone can invest in real estate, since it doesn't require for you to have a lot of funds to buy property. Secondly, shareholders get the opportunity to invest in different types of real estate. For example, ranging from residential apartments to office buildings and warehouses. Third, like stocks of other companies, REIT funds are highly marketable. That is, REITs can be easily bought or sold on the stock exchange. Fourth, each shareholders receive their dividends regularly, providing a stable income. However, REIT also have their disadvantages. First, limited growth potential. Public REITs are required to pay out a large percentage of their profits to investors in form of dividends. This leaves a little room to expand the portfolios with the acquiring new projects. Second, the lack of control over real estate. Investors who invest directly into real estate have significant control over returns. They can select properties with high cash flow, actively rent the renters, carefully review applications, and implement other management practices. However, REIT investors are without these options and can only sell their shares if they are not satisfied with the result. So you don't own the property, you are simply investing in the projects and you don't have the freedom to manage the real estate. And there are also scams. Yes, even in this field you can be fooled. So before investing, research a particular project in detail. I hope you found this useful and interesting. Go to our channel and watch more videos about cryptocurrency, finance and earnings. Give us a like and subscribe. The Talking team was with you and we see you in another video.